it's not going to be easy. There's going to have different, we have different server rule sets. We can make it easy if you really want to, and I'm sure there's a lot of people out there that want, not necessarily easy, but they want like PvE server and just to be able to explore. So if you want to place a furnace in the middle of the road and you won't get shot by somebody else, but you know, just know that we can tune it up or down whenever we want.
And early access, you're going to get the hardcore.
Yeah.
Any more questions?
Right here.
Topic?
Right here.
Hi, my question is, how will you guys handle the world regenerating? For example, vehicles, trees, buildings getting restructured after they've been maybe destroyed by players, stuff like that.
Magic. No,
Ones and zeros.
things respawn on different timers in the world.
And you know, then those systems are subject to change. But I mean, the pre-existing structures in the world aren't destructible. I mean, if it's been set there by Adam or someone, those aren't destructible. Trees, Adam's like, I do work, I put buildings in the game. When you knock down trees, they come back, and we've talked about hooking up ecosystems with different things, but
well, I mean, the world itself is kind of a closed ecosystem, so it's not going to infinitely spawn more and more and more. You can't just craft more and more and more. You've got a kind of a system that's limited in some respects, based on what's already out there. So there is a limited resource pool in some respects.
And there is a decay system for man-made structures and things like that. So if a guy comes on and builds a structure and then never plays the game again, his structure will decay over time. And then we've talked about like, okay, at a certain percentage, can you just light it on fire now, or can I gather resources off that now?
If there's something SMED, the entire world would catch on fire.
It'll definitely be.
Smed needs TP for his bunghole. He's cornholio.
Fire! Ah!
It'll be a pretty well polished recycling system in the world. So.
Is that it? Okay, so key experiences. What does a player go through on a typical play session? Let's kind of go through some of those scenarios.
that's a hard one to nail down. I think there's
Well, if it's
several.
a stream, we kill Clegg. That's the way it
Yeah,
works.
no,
Right?
Clegg
That's my
does
key
it.
experience.
No, I mean, for your first time getting in the game, a lot of people have seen, actually like Ko's here, Elheim's here, a lot of these guys actually stream, and you got to see them play for the first time without too much hand-holding. A lot of them actually requested, you know, just don't show me everything. Just, it's basic, right? I use my mouse, keyboard, let's do this. And we want it to be very basic. You want to get in, chop down a tree, and you want to try to survive, get that first bit going. You got to get campfire, keep yourself dry, get a light source, cook some food, and roll on from there.
Let's just get this out of the way. The first thing you actually do in H1Z1 is you die.
No, that's
You
true.
die,
Fair.
and then you die again, and then you die 5 more times, and then maybe you learn how to cut a tree down.
That's how Steve plays. He dies and then
Yeah.
dies.
No,
and
no.
dies and dies.
Yeah, Steve.
Oh, no, I've seen him play. He dies.
Yeah.
Sure.
Basically, you craft your own player experience. It's not something that, you know, we're building a sandbox. It's not something that we're going to have to tell you, oh, the first thing you need to do is go chop down a tree because then you can have wood or make a bow and arrow. That might be your key experience, but another guy's key experience is going to be to go explore. The first thing he's going to want to do is go run to town and see if he can find any guns.
We've already been proven their point from last night at the survival challenge we streamed. We had a couple issues there, but there was a guy who I thought he just didn't know the game or didn't understand, but he actually just had his fist out. It was just punching zombies in the rib cage. And like that is the most inefficient way to try to survive ever. And he eventually died. He made it for a long time. He said, "Hey, you know you have an axe?" He goes, "Yeah." Okay, well that's his experience. He wants to run around. He just wants to punch zombies. That's fine. That's the beauty of our game.
Yeah.
We have a question right here.
Good deal.
Name's Stefanik. A lot of us are wondering, what are going to be the big community features? We got like 50 guys that are going to jump in this right away. What's like the goal for communities or guilds or whatnot?
So coming into early access, we are going to pay a lot of attention to you guys. We're going to see how the game is treating you as a group, because we have a lot of systems in play that like to mess with people that make lots of noise, which is good and it's fun. We want to present that challenge to large groups. One thing we don't want to see is someone just roll over a whole server, right? I mean, that would be kind of boring. Suddenly you own the whole server and it's like, okay, well, I'm done. So we want to present that challenge to the community. But from day one, it was a point that, SMED jumped on board with it. Everyone is there. Like, look, the survival genre needs more community support. We need to support these guys and have more social interaction with friendly people that they know. We don't want to handhold. We don't want to cause you to fast travel over the map or anything. But, you know, you could use a little bit of support to know where your friends are and build a community, right?
Yeah, but to some extent, there's still the idea of finding your friends as part of the experience of the game, right? So you don't want to spot them right next to each other or make it too easy for them.
And we want it to feel like a zombie apocalypse game. So if this really happened, think of Walking Dead, you have your community, you're going to make a bunch of noise. And the more noise you make, the more zombies are attracted to your location. So if you have 30 guys and you guys are all running through the town together, you're getting the most attention from the server and from the zombies, and they're all going to come try to fight you.
Well, yeah, and I want to point out as well that we are leveraging PlanetSide 2, and we share a code base with a lot of the company right now. So we can modularly take a lot of this, the social features like squads, platoons, outfits as we need them and see fit, and kind of see how that affects the game and what larger groups, 50 people plus and all that, think of that.
Yeah, and I think this is something that's a part of early access. You know, if we get people that want to form a guild or whatever, clan or whatever we'd like to call it, we're going to see what happens. Like, hey, do we give a clan some sort of benefit by joining a clan? Like, hey, I can see your name tag further away. We've talked about a lot of this stuff. The challenge is what's the actual impact on the game for everybody else.
And that's the beauty of early access.
So, and that's part of what
We get to find
Yeah,
out what happens.
we're making a concerted effort here to make sure that we don't gate you with any systems, any unnecessary systems to form communities and such, because sometimes although they look pretty on paper, you know, making friends and forming guilds, sometimes it's better you just walk on to somebody going, hey, you want to be my friend? And then if he axes you in the face, which happens
The
quite a
answer
bit,
was no, yes.
I guess he doesn't want to be your friend.
It's John from TeamSpeak. John from TeamSpeak.
Jimmy made a good point in our panel that we just did earlier, where you really want to test the game in like the vanilla state. You don't want to add a bunch of complex systems and UI systems on top of the game right from early access. You want to see how players play the game first in its vanilla form. Yes, there'll be 30 people all just combobulated everywhere, but there'll also be a group of like 4 guys that are just, you know, doing their thing. We want to see how that plays out before we start adding, you know, things on the HUD, things in the UI, stuff like that.
Yeah, who are we to say it wouldn't be hilarious if you guys are accidentally killing each other all the time? Who knows? It'd be fun. Yeah, right. So you guys are familiar with that one already? Yeah.
All right, so any more questions, Ty?
Yes, one more.
Hello, I'm Burke Black. I'm going to be streaming your game tomorrow. I really want to know more about the zombies, because like these games are all about the zombies and this open world survival, but it seems like the developers focus more on the PvP side of the game, and the zombies are an afterthought. So, I mean, if you give us the tools, I'm sure there's a room full of your people that just cannot wait to kill each other in the most horrible way how they can do it. So, what is going to be different about the zombies of this game as opposed to every other one that's been out there?
So I think first and foremost, we are an MMO company. I mean, that's what we do pretty damn well. We've been doing it for a long time. And so we get to leverage a lot of knowledge and a lot of support and the AI that control these zombies as they run around. So they are an absolute in front of they are huge in our game. We're leveraging the world more than what you'll see from other survival games to kill you.
But they're only really a part of the circle of death that
Yes.
we've got in the game, right? There's the zombies, and there's deer, and there's bears, and there's wolves, and there's rabbits, and whatever else, you know, players as well. And they're all in there interacting with each other. So the wolves will chase the deer. The deer run away, and the zombies go, ooh, look, a deer, and chase after the deer.
And then a bear
so
just
that's
murders
part
all of them.
Yeah, well, the deer does murder pretty much everybody, yeah.
Yeah, zombie AI is a very evolving process for us. We experiment with it quite a bit, and you know, on some days we go in and they can't even find their way around a fence. Other days they're just mauling you over. So it's one of those iterative processes. Once we get it out live to you guys, I think we have a specific team, a group of guys associated with just working on zombies specifically, and they're cranking away at it daily, trying to improve their AI infrastructure and such. So they're a prime focus for the product.
Yeah, and I think sorry, Bill.
Oh, I was going to say, one thing I'd add is there's actually going to be more than one type of zombie. So you're not just going to have, you know, a walker kind of, you know, where you're going to have multiple types of zombies. Some will be identifiable by silhouette, some will not. You know, that'll come as it comes.
I think the main thing people are worried about is the zombies are an afterthought, therefore the whole game is kill on sight. And in our game, all of your actions have consequences. So the zombies are not just going to be an afterthought. If you decide to kill somebody with your gun, you've now just attracted zombie noise to come in a lot of it.
And it's not, we're not talking like 50, you know, like 25 meters, 50 meters, something like this is a big
And another thing is if people that are worried about kill on sight and things like that, this is an MMO, which means if you're on a persistent server, which means if you're douchebag 69, people are going to know who you are, and you're going to be a kill on sight target because you're just the guy who ruins, you know, everyone's fun right from the beginning, or you just kill noobs all the time. So that's also a big deal.
I think we have another interesting question along those lines.
So I've been playing your game for 6 months, and I'm pretty proficient at it. I'm all good and everything, but I don't do PvP, so I stay on the PvE server. What do I have to do? Am I going to get bored? You're going to put in some boss mobs for me, or am I just going to be whatever, it's been 6 months, good game, I'm out of here?
So we want to constantly affect the way that you can survive and sometimes how you have been surviving. So adding new crafting recipes with new areas, not even just crafting recipes, adding twists to the recipes that already exist. Maybe something you used to make a lot now has an extra step to it and makes something better or different. So we want to make sure that experience is changing, as well as through early access, we're adding a lot of the different zombie types we just talked about. And the world's
Also, the
growing.
world outgrowing.
Yeah, the world's actually
Big-
going to be
big point.
growing as well. So there'll be new things to discover consistently. That's our goal. Yeah.
Yeah, so, and to touch on your subject of like, I want a greater challenge, maybe I've learned all the recipes and I want something that's more. We've also talked about maybe different game modes. So maybe, down the line, you play your PvE game, that's what you do every day, you hop on, you talk with your friends, but when there's a little bit of downtime, you hop on this mode where it's just like 1,000 zombies and you have to help like survive yourself, and it's just a game type. And then when you're done, your friends log on, you go back to your PvE game. Those are things that we're looking at, down the line in the future.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things is we can look at this game as we're just going to work on this open world the whole time, which we will continue to iterate and make better because that's our core game. But why not use this as a platform to provide you guys with new content where you can sit down for an hour and have just a blast with your friends, and I think it'll be good.
One more?
Hi, my handle is Radlock. Speaking of social systems, have you looked at porting over the voice communication system from PlanetSide 2 into sort of maybe a ham radio or another architecture in H1Z1?
So right now we have proximity voice chat in. Clegg has already creeped me out multiple times with that.
We have talked about ham
Jimmy-
radio too.
I was gonna say, I was in the game, I heard Jimmy through proximity voice chat in the building talking to one of the other devs, and I waited for the perfect time for their conversation to be like, okay, well, do you have any of this? Yes, I have some of that. Okay, hold on, let me check. That's when I went in and came in and started shooting him.
He's an asshole.
But yeah, so we'll definitely have that, and we've talked about, I know Smed has wanted walkie-talkies in the game. What if
I
it's a
think we all
CB
do.
radio?
That's
Yeah.
an
Like,
awesome
what
feature.
if you pick up a walkie-talkie and you turn it to like channel 6, and all of a sudden you're listening to 2 other people, and you decide to help them or hurt
Yeah,
them?
meet me at the Green Water Tower. It's like,
Yeah.
And I think that speaks also to Survivor Radio. I mean, you guys saw that clip in the montage. I mean, we'd love to get more stories from you guys. We have a bunch of ideas that we want to implement in the future. So the more stories you send from your Survivor perspective, the more you'll see that content come out.
One more?
Go ahead.
Okay. So let's say it's August 47th and we've released the game this month. What happens next? What's the short-term goals as soon as we get live in people's hands?
Besides the servers blowing up and people not being able to log in and the usual stuff that happens in a launch.
Those are short-term.
Okay, well, yeah, short-term.
That is part of the short term, servers being overwhelmed. But I think the immediate short term is we're going to be experimenting with a lot of different server rule sets, and also just the main server rule set that we're releasing as our vanilla server rule set. Maybe one server has 100 player max, maybe another server has 1,000 player max. How does this server differ from that server? And we're going to just be using a lot of business intelligence also to give us a lot of data, and we really need to figure out how to change things on the fly. That's why we're trying to make a core game where we don't have to add a lot of features right away. You guys have enough to play day after day after day while we use the data that we're getting to kind of tune everything.
Yeah, and know the next step based in actual data, not just guessing at things. It's very important.
Yeah, that's
mean-
tune and polish. I mean, that's
Yeah.
really the big thing is you guys are going to give us a ton of data, and we're going to be able to react the best we can, as well as, there's bugs, we'll be fixing bugs.
I think player density is a big point here too, because it's going to take us some time to figure out what the ideal density player per square kilometer is in a game. And once we figure out that magic formula, we'll be able to kind of grow the world out and increase the population accordingly to make sure we're not overpopulating or underpopulating.
Yeah,
Our specialty is putting a bunch of players on the server, so that's not an issue.
Yeah, we could even do that server where there's no zombies and people just axing each other all day if people want that. I mean,
Yeah.
we can support a crap ton of players. It's a matter of what feels good for this game at the starting area we have.
Yeah.
Cool, we have a question here.
Hi, I'm Era, and I streamed your game this morning. It was awesome. And I was just wondering about servers. Like, is this the kind of, are you looking at, for example, if we had a group that was established on, some server, and we have to log into that server every time, or can we switch servers and be like, oh, we're going to play on this one today, and then that one tomorrow, and have stuff transfer over?
So-
Or like, is it persistent, I guess?
So
is what I'm saying.
your character that you make on that server is persistent.
Yeah.
But nothing's stopping you from joining another server and making a different character.
Okay.
But it's not going to be this thing where you can take, you know, my character that's called Adam number 1, and I get all the best gear, and then I take Adam number 1 to server 5, and now I have all that same stuff. So it's persistent based on whatever server you pick. Right?
Yes.
Did I just make that up?
You did, but you're also right, so.
Good job, here's a cracker.
Any other questions?
Yes.
My name's Matt. I just wanted to know, a few weeks ago, you guys mentioned that in terms of microtransactions, it's going to be mostly cosmetic. How will that work with permadeath? I mean, when you die, will you lose it? Will the other person get your item? How do you guys plan on handling that?
So,
we had this team meeting a while back. I remember it vividly, and it was called the bunny hat, or the bunny hat meeting. And everyone said bunny hat 100 times because they're like, okay, so let's say I buy a bunny hat and I wear the bunny hat, and then this guy kills me. It'd feel really bad if he didn't get to loot my bunny hat. You know, just because he paid money to wear cosmetics, I should be able to steal his stuff. So we came up with a system of durability where you may have bought the bunny hat at 100% durability and you die. I loot that bunny hat at 50% durability. You die again, this guy loots it at 25% durability. Now, if you want to take that durability, and it'll always be at 25% until you die and somebody loots it. Now, let's say you are tired of your stuff decaying so fast and your durability going down that you want 100% durability, we might sell you something that gives it 100% durability, but you still have the opportunity to kill a guy, loot all of his cosmetics, just at a lower rate. That's something that we just talked about in one of our team meetings. Still have to flesh out all the design.
Yeah.
But
so
that's
in a
just
nutshell,
to give you an idea of what we're
you do
thinking.
not lose anything you purchased in the station cash store. That's the bottom line.
Well,
so you buy
no.
something.
Real quick, so there actually was some confusion on that on Reddit, so we might as well address that now since we have a bunch of people here. We've said that many times. You don't lose what you buy in the
Cosmetic store.
the cosmetic store and everything. That also seemed to people were under the assumption that we're going to sell people weapons and they just get to keep that weapon in their hands all the time, that sort of thing. So we got to make sure that we're clarifying that that's not the case.
Yeah.
So yeah, with cosmetics, you get to keep your stuff. If you go out and you have a skin like the nail bat and that sort of thing, you're not going to start off with that thing. It's something that you can craft in the game.
Yeah, I
and it's a
remember
variant.
I woke up on Tuesday morning and I just casually grabbed my phone while I'm in bed and it's like, SOE pay to win, pay to win, pay to win. I'm like, what is happening? Because the exclusive item for H1Z1 for SOE Live was a nail bat. And I was like, guys, calm down. We're not going to sell a nail bat that you start with. You still have to find the materials. You still have to craft it. You just got the special SOE Live skinned nail bat. That's what it really is.
Yeah, I actually made a normal bat, and then there's a nail bat.
The nail bat? What's it called?
Well, it's called the Morning Wood.
Morning wood, everybody. Marketing loves that term. They're afraid to say it in their emails to us every day.
I mean, it's
Yeah,
MOU.
there's a story there, isn't there?
Yeah.
Yeah, we get all sorts of
Sad.
interesting emails. Hey,
It's
can
a
we get
sad
a picture, a close-up of the morning wood? And we're all like,
Yeah, a high-res close-up, yeah. We're like, wow, I'm saving this one for HR.
Steve sends a 50 megabyte email reply.
Don't open it.
any more questions out there?
Yeah, we have a question about maps.
Hey guys, Mr. Walker. Anyway, I had a question on maps. I know that was a big deal on Reddit a couple of weeks ago, and you guys hadn't chosen whether you were going to do mapping, allow a map, have fog of war, or no map at all. Have you guys made a decision on any of that?
Well, we've actually talked about all of those things.
Yeah.
I personally like fog of war systems. I also like not having a map, and then you find like brochures or stuff in the world that shows parts of the map.
Yeah, like you find a little gas station or somebody's got a map on the wall that shows you the area you're in, or you find a brochure that talks about the points of interest in town.
We've all agreed on not press M full screen map.
Yeah.
It's just what do we do beyond that?
Yeah.
And I want the map that you hold in your hand and you have to find pieces for. So as you see, we have not yet.
I thought like a craftable map with like a pedometer, and you find a notebook, and you combine them, and you make a map of an area, and it doesn't it doesn't lay out, so you can actually overlap maps, and kind of screws you up that way. But
Sure.
hey, you got an area.
Yeah, no, we've got, it's something that we will resolve. We'll end up with some sort of way to know your way around the world outside of the landmarks in the world. But it's just how we display that to you and how you get the pieces, or if it's a whole thing. That's what we're still
We've been discussing it.
since probably week
Yeah.
two.
We definitely still have work to do on it, and I'm sure it'll be a discussion that we'll have with our players in the future.
Anything else?
So I have a question about the community and events. So like, for instance, you have a big group of people, they have nothing else to do. They built their big, community and base and all that. So would there be like worldwide events or like server events for like the little things? So the community could come together to help like a little society like invent or create these items that would help you in your survival, or other communities that come in and sabotage that and kill off a society instead of helping them out.
So we've actually talked about server events, maybe not on the scale of huge, like including big communities and stuff. I mean, to be honest, you have several large communities on a server, those events are just going to happen. And especially in a survival game, there's so many dynamics and people getting frustrated and drama and all this fun stuff. A lot of that stuff's going to come together. People are going to sabotage and do all that. But we've talked about doing things like having rare spawns of helicopters and crazy things like that have rare loot that we can do later on. But yeah, we want to be able to keep people on their toes.
Yeah,
Well, we're putting together a system that allows us to do interactive things with the community. We just haven't decided exactly what all those things are going to be yet. We have the basic system in place that can do all these things, and we'll help learn from you what you want out of that system.
The thing that I respect the most about the survivor genre player base in the community is they're the best role players out there.
That's right.
Out of any community I've ever been involved in. So it'll just happen. Like Jimmy brings up this point all the time that somebody came up to him and they wanted to have No Pants Town right next to No Shirt Town. And they're just gonna have a war. That's all they do.
And Corn Dog Martinez just wants to have his corn dog stand. But KFC screwed him over apparently.
Yeah. So there will be plenty of little fun community events all the time. And anything beyond that, I'm sure we can discuss.
Oh, we got to kind of move a little quick here. Sorry, you guys. So let's talk about something else. The servers are live. It's been a few months. We figured out our core population, and we're all stable. What are future plans?
Bicycles.
I want a bicycle.
I want bicycles. Sorry.
A couple of bicycles. I mean, we're also going to be expanding the map at that point, right? At some point, we're going to start building the map out piece by piece as people come in. And that's going to be a big part of it, just building out pieces in different areas of the map that you can go into, different ecosystems and other places like that.
Yeah, more. I think it's a good.
Yeah, more.
Yeah, I guess that's when the vertical slice starts becoming a cake at that point.
Well, and that's when a lot of our...
Are you hungry?
I'm hungry.
He keeps talking about cake. I don't know where it's coming from. That's when a lot of our vertical slice starts expanding, right? That's when you start seeing... we have a hunting rifle in game, which is essentially a generic like 308 rifle, a 1911, which is a good target pistol, not the best durability. We have like a little sample of things, and from my perspective in combat, that's when I really get to start trying variants out. Like we get a Glock 20 in game. We'll have another name for it, but it'll be that gun, and we'll have that across the board for combat, and that's really exciting because we'll have a good grasp on what people are using these for already. If that makes any sense. We'll have good data on how to tune these, and that period of getting those guns again will be much faster.
Another thing I'd like to add too is we'll probably have a wide array of server rule sets much later, and I think that's going to be someone out here said PvE server. I've had already while we've been here, I've had so many cool ideas for server rule sets. I'm like, oh, that's a really good idea. Oh, that's a really good idea, and hopefully by that time. We'll have a nice wide array of server rule sets, and we'll have the ante system where you can ante up to suggest a server rule set, and we can implement those as well.
I just think the game will be much deeper by then, like what Elohim was talking about. A few months later, we're just going to be adding more animations and more things to do and more things that you can craft and do those things, to do stuff with.
And on that note, talking about adding things, let me show you guys something we just put in a couple days ago.
Yeah, just a couple days ago.
Literally, we just finished this.
What's in the box?
What's in the box?
Hashtag what's in the box.
What's in the box?
What's in the box?
So airdrop system was really exciting for me because I'm a PvP nut, as some of you guys may know. That was me who murdered everyone when we were recording that video with the shotgun.
Right.
It's a way to add urgency to the survival game, right? So a lot of the game's anxiety, a lot of it's just driving you forward and trying to survive and avoid other people. But there's a risk-reward aspect that just, it grows exponentially when you see something falling from the sky. You know other people are seeing this, and you have a sense of urgency to get the hell away because a war is about to go down, or to go try to take part in that. Maybe you're going to wait for someone to go kill everyone off, get their stuff from the case, then walk away. You kill them and then take the stuff. And it's just, it's so much fun. It adds so much to the game.
So real quick, you guys, we're kind of out of time. Sorry about this. We can cover more of these questions during there's an Ask Us Anything panel this week, so check the schedules. Join us for that, and we can just talk about
Tomorrow, yeah.
We can talk about anything you guys want. But for now, let's pull some prizes.
Yeah,
from
you
our
guys all
partners.
got raffle tickets.
Oh, man.
One thing to note too, you guys might be asking, well, where's the gameplay? Right after this, for a couple hours, Jimmy and Clegg and some special guests are going to be streaming to the H1Z1 channel. So you'll see tons of gameplay. We'll show off the airdrops and go from there. So we have,
But by the way, real quick, that's twitch.tv/H1Z1.
yes, H1Z1 channel on Twitch. So right now we're giving away a Razer Death Adder mouse, a Black Widow Ultimate keyboard from Razer, and a Kraken Pro headset from Razer. This total prize value is for $290. So get your tickets out.
What? That's fine. Where's my ticket?
And you get a beanie. It's probably worth everything. Okay. Who has 434345?
Come on down.
Come on down, the price is right.
Down. Anybody?
Oh,
Yeah! You're gonna love that keyboard mouse.
Okay.
It's a good keyboard.
Hey, can I have that keyboard
Freaking
by any
love
chance?
Yeah.
Our next prize pack is an Intel 730 series SSD, 240 gigs, $250 value, plus a
I want that.
lovely beanie. And the winner, oh, sorry. My bad.
Drum roll.
Drum roll, please. Yeah, like that. Okay.
A new car.
Oh, careful.
43, 43, 46.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
That RNG though.
I need an SSD for
Hey,
Okay.
do you want to
like
sell
a
that
little
SSD
one.
by any chance?
And the grand prize of Intel 730 series SSD, 480 gigs, $500 value.
Nice.
Let's do this.
Son of a bitch.
Going to the bottom.
My
Seriously, didn't
SSD's
tell
like
I know.
80
What's
gigs.
up?
4343.
I would have traded the beer.
Okay, 43, 43,